Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is episode three. We're going to be talking about trust issues, being present, and of course, recapping episode two. The show is actually doing a lot greater than I anticipated, and thanks everyone for their feedback with the first two episodes. If you ever want to be on the show, whether it be going live or pre recorded, like I'm doing now, just feel free to contact me. I want to hear your story. I want to hear your difficulties, whether it have been in primary care, checkup, physical, hospital visits, no matter what issue you have had in the healthcare industry. I want to hear your story and how you was able to overcome that situation with PMS, physical, mental, or social health. On last episode, I talked about the mental health tips. The mental health tips are available online on my Facebook and as well as the Instagram at ClayHTX. There are seven classes of medication. I've also outlined the seven classes of medication there on the Instagram as well, pretty much so you can know the names of the classes of medication and what each job or each medication job is there. I also share with you guys a way to stay motivated is listening to Les Brown on YouTube or buying his motivational books or speeches there. There's another guy I've been listening to this week called Eric Thomas, so he's definitely great as well. So Les Brown and Eric Thomas, those are where you want to start, in my personal opinions. If you need the extra push, if you want to hear something motivating in the morning, those guys are my go-to guys there. Outside of that, I want to first talk about trust issues and learning myself. Within the recent years, I have been learning myself a lot. I guess that comes with age, just knowing that I don't give many people the benefit of the doubt. The way I go into situations or relationships have been bad. A lot of times I do rush things, and I've noticed a pattern, and of course the common denominator is myself. So just learning myself and knowing what I should do different has definitely been empowering for me. Started as when I was young, as I want to say 13, 14. About 13 or 14, I had my first PlayStation, a PlayStation 1. And for some reason or another, it came up missing. And my aunt used to always give me like gold dollars and $2 bills, and I'll save them. I've always been like a money hoarder. I had every quarter from the United States on this board, and I always kept my gold dollars and $2 bills my aunt gave me. So things like that had came up missing from my older cousins, and it always made me angry because I just hated to be lied to. Another thing that damaged relationships for me is waiting or being stood up. And I noticed this within the last year or so in my last relationship. When I was younger, my dad wouldn't pick me up when he said he was gonna pick me up, and I would be upset. I have my bags at the door, and my mom wouldn't really know what to tell me, or just baby, he's not coming, or let me call him. Whatever the case was, I was bothered by that. So a lot of times I've been going into relationships or situationships waiting to be disappointed or let down. And I can speak for myself, or no, just in general. I'm here to tell you that's not a good way or a good outlook in life. Um, and as far as me and my mother relationship, it has gotten so much better. She's always been like a close friend to me, and I was hurt by a lot of the language she used or being verbally abused. But parenting don't come with a manual, and we are a lot better today than ever before. And I think my mother has been really great seeing her grow as a parent. It's been refreshing. I've been really excited. We talk a lot more because I pretty much just let the hurt go because I was always focused on living for my mother and just making her happy and forgetting about myself. And I remember she was saying, "You're not living for me because you being with a guy. There's no way you're living for me talking to guys." And I could have kept the same attitude or energy that I had before, but I always give my mother credit for just being who she is and we working through our problems, because a lot of people aren't able to do that. So where she didn't see I was living for her, I definitely was. I was always most hurt when my mother didn't accept my lifestyle. She don't accept it now. Well, she still don't accept it. But the thing is, I know she still loved me and I'm her child, so she's always gonna be there. And my mother always make a way out of no way, and I just always commend her for that. But I've always lived for my mother. I was always afraid of disappointing her, letting her down. So a lot of relationships I didn't really give my all to because I was focused on my mother, which is a bad thing because at the end of the day, I wasn't happy. And I only was worried about her approval. If my mother approval was there, nothing else mattered. That was my number one person. But I had to just learn to put myself first, and it's really refreshing. And we are a lot stronger. My mother comes to me now just talking about how her relationship with people and how I am right about a lot of things. And when your parents say you're right about something, that just make you smile in a whole nother way. But pretty much just how people interact with you, how people may not invite you to certain things or may not want you to be a part. And I just have to let her know that if you're not invited to something or something isn't mentioned, the hell with that person. They're protecting you from something because the energy may not be right. The what we would say, the younger people say, the vibe may not be right. But God always place you where you need to be at the right time. So just ignore the invite that they forgot to send. If you're not appreciated, don't even waste your time or space there, because your time and attention could be appreciated, changing lives and helping other people, because that is irrelevant. Only go where you want it. So that is neither here nor there. Um, and I know when my mother had got married, I had always felt alone because I was the only person with my last name in the house, and I just felt alone ever since then. And I was didn't know what love looked like and trying to find it in other people, which is always unhealthy. And your parents always try to protect you or change things because they always want to look out for you, and they can't protect you, mother, dad, whomever. Nobody can protect you if you don't express how you feel. Nobody can read your mind. And, at the end of the day, you should always put yourself first and have that conversation. Nobody can, nobody will ever know exactly how you feel, but it's up to you to have that conversation to make yourself happy. Always live in happiness and strive for whomever you want to be. Just be free and be happy. Always be you, no matter who may not like it. They could be dead to you, not physically dead, but if they don't want to accept you for who you are, they're dead to you. They'll come around. If they don't live for somebody else. Always be happy and focus on yourself. Um, and in relationships, pretty much every relationship I've had has been bad, and it's mainly because I go into situations waiting for somebody to mess over me. And I know um, one thing was mentioned that my mother wanted a relationship of mine to or not work because it was a guy, and I was kind of being a smartass about it, saying like, "Oh well, I would get through it," which I always have, but that isn't a good way to look at things. But every relationship, of course, my first relationship outside of high school, I became positive. Came into my house with my ex and my bed of exes texting their exes, and I'm pretty much going through the phone looking for something or googling something, and I find a call log, or they using my card to see um other people in their past. So at the end of the day, I have to check myself as to why these things happening to me, because it's a thin line between prophesizing and speaking something into existence. So you want to make sure that you're not going into something negative, because if you're going into it, it's going to happen. The smallest things would be your trigger to start acting or being different towards that person, when that could have been prevented by a basic conversation or having certain expectations going into the relationship. And outside of that, if somebody's not coming home or not being completely honest with you, you have to do it immediately. As soon as you feel uncomfortable, have that conversation, because you're never gonna give 100% if you ever feel that that person isn't. It will never be the same if somebody break their trust, no matter what that is. You have to set it early what those goals and expectations is with that person. So another thing I noticed about me and my trust issues, it trickled down into my professional environment, as far as me always wanting clarity, me having to record every conversation, because within myself I can't trust people. Period. I cannot trust anybody. I always would want clarity until there's a full understanding. And if it's work, I want it in black and white. I want it in the policies and procedures, because people will always tell you what you want to hear, not always what you need to hear. So you definitely have to separate those two. Um, so yeah, just know where you stand with every person in your life, whether it be friend, coworker, boss, and leadership. The only way you can grow is having conversations, being an adult about it, and putting everything else to the side, because your mental health and sanity comes first, and that's that. So focus on trust issues and realize, or try to recall where those trust issues started. Pretty much mine started with my family and in home, but I've been able to, excuse me, y'all, come back into who I am as a person. I feel more free. I'm really excited about the new chapter in my life. Another thing, or the last thing here today, I want to challenge you guys on is putting your phone down. You know, the more we are on social media, the less social we are becoming. Kids aren't going outside as much. They're always attached to the cell phone. You know, you see people where you can even look on YouTube or Google people on their phones getting in car accidents, or getting hit by cars, or falling, tripping down because you're on the phone. I just challenge you, put your phone down for a second. You know, look at directions before you get in the car, just for a safer trip. Even if you have a dock and you're driving for Lyft, Uber, or to the next destination, pretty much we be on autopilot, just going and listening to the phone or looking at the phone. Put the phone down and be connected with the person you're in the car with, or put the some little jazz on in the car, or the conversation you're having. Put it on the speaker in the car if you have the speaker or the Bluetooth capability. So I'm gonna give you guys some tips. They will also be posted on the Instagram. It's going to be seven. I'm gonna look at my list this time because I said like 80 times last episode. So it's 7 tips as far as becoming more um connected with the world and just being present. We love the social media, but I challenge you guys to look on your Instagram and your activity and check how many hours you're using Instagram. Yeah, a lot of us are getting paid on the social media platforms, but if you're not getting paid, you know, why are you there? Two, those people that you're watching, they're living their lives. A lot of it is fake drama, it's screened. They're living their lives and they're achieving their dreams and goals. This even goes to sports and entertainment. What is the main benefit from you watching it other than being entertained? The more you're watching it, the more it's taking you from achieving your goals. Three, people only display the good or what they want you to see. So just think about that. You're not gonna post when you're doing bad. I'm different. I have a whole show talking about the bad times and how I turn those things around. But at the end of the day, what are you displaying? What people are displaying, they're only showing you what they want you to see. But if they are having if they're having a campaign or something positive, those things get looked at a lot less than the funny videos, because people don't want to face reality. Put the phone down and focus on your reality and your vision and goals. For you, definitely, it goes into 1 through 3. You'll simply be more productive. That goes without saying. You put your phone down and you focusing on your kids, your relationship, your goals. You really don't have much time to be entertained by the unnecessary coonery and buffoonery. 5, you'll become more social, especially during major events. you're not enjoying the person, the money, time, or effort that person put into that party, that wedding. There's no way you're fully enjoying yourself with the phone in your hand. You're missing so many opportunities to engage with other people, and you blocking out everything around you with a phone in front of your face. If there's a photographer, and this goes to a lot of my clients that have booked me for photography. If you book a photographer or that event has a photographer, let them do their job and wait for that party to post or share the pictures. It's okay if you stand out to the side and you get a few here and there, but they hired a photographer for a reason. Get the phone out of your face or the photographer face and let them focus on the event. Don't get in their way. They have that person, they trust them and their vision to capture those memories. You don't always have to record everything or share everything, because you need to focus on that moment and the people who are around you, because they're not promised tomorrow. Hell, we're not promised tonight. So just make sure you're focused on that event and your loved ones at that time. On 6, you can live more in the moment. Like I said, see, I'm going faster than it because it's go. I think a lot of this is common sense, but common sense isn't so common, so I'm going to read it. You can live more in the moment without comparing yourself to others and be more appreciative of what you have. Give yourself credit. You will be happier. And it goes back to the beginning. When people are posting things, they're posting what they want you to see. At the end of the day, they're not going to show you the bad. So you may not have the car you want, but you have a car. You may forget there's public transportation. A car is a luxury. When you get a car, there's maintenance. That's another bill. When you focusing on buying that house, you have an apartment. You may be living with somebody. You have breath in your body. You woke up another day. So your job here on earth isn't done. It's not accomplished until you leave. You're here for a reason. Focus on those reasons and stay off your damn phone. In meetings, you may want to have a little recording to go back to some minutes. Put the phone down, jot down some notes, and revisit those minutes on your phone instead of being sidetracked by what's on Instagram or Facebook. Because if you are present, no matter how many times you've been in that meeting or those meetings, it's always an opportunity to learn. If you've done something 1,000 times, the 1,001st time, you're gonna get something different from that experience. Trust me. And at number 7, it's safer. You're not gonna get in that car accident. You're not gonna have any NDEs, which is near-death experiences by being on your phone, texting and driving, or walking and texting. And especially women, be cautious of when you getting in your car, when you pumping gas, or when you getting into the car. We want to look at our phone, making sure before we get on the road we have everything that we need. We want to check our messages. That's not a necessity to drive. Do all of that, women especially, before leaving the house, before getting on your way, especially if you have children. Just make sure you're aware of your whereabouts and putting your phone down. Lastly, thank you guys for watching. A lot of people have been asking about the shirts. The shirts will be available today for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to do 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, simply because the shirts take a week or so to come. And I don't want to place a bulk order. They will be sent directly to you. It won't be an option to where I will receive them, but they're going to be sent to you directly. And once you place your order, for the next 2 weeks. If you miss those 2 weeks, it's gonna be relaunched up until about August. The shirts will be available 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off until August. And then in August, for the last season of the year, I will go to the original shirt from 2018. Outside of that, I just want everybody to know I'm proud of them for even logging in and watching and making the necessary changes in your life for your mental health and your social health, which is what this organization is all about. PMS, Physical, Mental, and Social Health. Subscribe to the channel. Follow the Instagram at ClayHTX on Instagram. And remember, no matter what you're going through, you're not alone. Love you. Talk to you later.